We're just going to do this widescreen because the aspect ratio is too wide to fit into my 480p profile anyway. I have never played any of the Need for Speed games before. I don't know anything about them. Old, more simulationist-focused racing games with licensed cars, I guess, is the big draw. Yeah. We're doing these as free play, so I don't know how much time we're going to spend on each one of them. We're going to do the first three. But I guess we'll just check it out and see how it goes. Just using a keyboard, so looks like it's arrow keys, AZ to shift, C for camera, and space for the handbrake, which I will probably never press because I'm bad at racing games and don't completely understand when to use the handbrake. Except in arcade games where you press handbrake to drift, right? So this is the special edition, but the original game was 1995, I think? Uh-oh. Hopefully, every time that happens, I risk crashing the capture card, so hopefully we don't get too much of that. First game is simulationist, and then it's all over the place. Okay. Transmission, automatic. Because that's by default it's automatic? I'll try it on manual. I don't know what I'm doing, but traction control, graphics detail. This is probably all fine.
Besides making some of the most glorious mechanical noises on Earth, the 512 TR's all-aluminum flat 12 is a thing of beauty, with intake castings that could be displayed at the Louvre. Compared with the Testarossa it replaces, the 512 TR has 10% more power, larger 18-inch wheels and tires, a stiffer tubular frame, more precise steering, an improved braking system, and a redesigned interior.
Is this like car porn, in-game car porn with pictures of the real cars so you can see all the stats and stuff?
All-wheel drive that incorporates a mid-mounted viscous coupling helps put the VT's monstrous 492 horsepower to the pound. Chassis construction is similar to the Ferraris with a tubular space frame, but aluminum alloy body
I knew enough about cars for this to mean something to me, right?
And strategically placed panels of carbon fiber. Unlike the high-pitched scream of the 512 TR's engine, the Diablo's all-alloy 48-valve V12 resonates with a deep brassiness. Think of a dozen trombones.
A lot of trombones. Alright, so this isn't actually the game. Got it. It's the car showcase. And, okay, so there's cities, race types. I hit race. Here we go. This looks like a video game. C to change the camera. Okay, I can see my gear at the top of the screen. Got it. This looks insanely good for, what, 1995? Does this look appreciably different from the original version? Because this is the special edition. I imagine the graphics were similar. I know racing games have always been at the forefront of, like, photorealistic graphics. I'm trying to think, like, Final Fantasy VII is a year after this, if we're counting the special edition. 2 years after, if we're counting the original version of it. Whoa! And then I lost my Lamborghini. I've never played a 3DO game before. I did grab the 3DO emulator, but I decided not to mess around with it because I have to assume it's not very robust. There aren't very many 3DO exclusive games out there. So you're saying if I had rigged up a joystick, like there actually is analog control in this? I just assumed that it would map the analog stick to a digital gas on, brake on input. I see. Thought that was gonna be a wall. It was a shadow. Is that a cop car? That's funny. Guess they're definitely going for like the fantasy, right? Being able to drive this fast on actual highways. So do all the games have police officers that chase you? Is that like a Need for Speed thing? Because I don't think that's been in any of the other racing games we've played on stream so far. Continue. This is progressing to a different map, I assume. Hey, Gotna, how you doing? Some of the map trophy parts. Okay, so the turns here the curves seem really, really tight to do it max speed. So maybe this map is meant to teach me not to go max speed all the time. Ha, no kidding. I need to play Pokemon Go again. Although I heard they just rolled back that, they added a thing for COVID where you can interact with things from further away, right? And they removed it, much to everyone's chagrin. Brake before turns, try to take racing lines. It's less hardcore than Gran Turismo, okay. Gran Turismo where you struggle to make even a single turn successfully, right? Well, I struggle at least. I gotta get in the habit of downshifting when I lose a bunch of speed like that, I think. That was bad. That's pretty awesome. Actually gives you a ticket. Not as good that time, it turned out. Okay. But I think we get 3 tracks here. Camera's locked to the track with no way to see behind you. Does anything that's behind you matter? Like, can cars actually approach you from behind? I guess your opponent could, right? It's clever. So those entities basically cease to exist. This is fine. The only problem with using AZ to shift is that I can't wiggle the stick to make sure I'm in neutral. I don't ever need to be in neutral in this, I don't think. Ow, 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 ow. I will almost certainly not unlock the bonus track yet. So that there's a tournament mode after this? Okay, I'll switch to that. Well, this game looks really good. It looks like they like took some pictures too for the backgrounds. If I just start letting off the gas on those tighter curves, that'll help. Pretend like I'm actually driving, which did not help me at all with Gran Turismo. Well, I would never be going 150 miles at something like that, so... Oh, it's because the cop is pulling me over, basically? Interesting. So can I outrun the cop if I have a certain amount of speed once they start their siren on? The only physics jank seems to be that if you bump into the side, it kind of nudges you back onto the track with a small speed penalty instead of like you crashing alongside of it. Cops are clumsy. Excuse you. They only appear in head-to-head in these point-to-point tracks, I see. You failed.
Congratulations! You've got a top 10 time for this track.
I'll take it. Suck it, Vigilante and Dippy. Vigilante. Alright. Control Central. Okay. So we want to change race type to tournament. And that basically goes to every track, effectively. I'll see the same 3 ones again. Which one of these is blue? Okay, you have to unlock cars. I know the name Toyota. With the Supra. Nice. Selected for completely independent reasons. Oh yeah, I should have kept that in mind. Okay, so this one's not as fancy as the one I was just in. Class A. We were playing Contradiction yesterday, and one of the characters in the game has a Ferrari, and all the people in the town are like, I didn't know he had a special car or whatever. And this name was like, I can't believe that anyone in this town wouldn't know that someone in their small town has a Ferrari. And I was like, now I would. Now I've consumed enough media to recognize, that's probably an expensive, fancy car, but maybe even 10 years ago, I don't think I could tell cars apart at all. The media has certainly helped with that. I had the same issue with, like, fancy clothes in movies. Like, I can never understand why people were attracted to costumes in films. I'd be like, what? I don't see what the big deal is. Like, oh, that thing probably costs, like, tens of thousands of dollars. Like, oh, okay. There's a lot of artistry at work there. Going to the ground means more money. If you heard of Ferrari, you'd probably notice. Gotcha. I guess I grew up with people that would like modify the mufflers on their like shitty cars to be really fucking loud. So I'd probably just go, ah, what an asshole, and not know, oh, what a rich asshole. All right, all downhill from here. No, it's all uphill from here. Whichever one means that I'm going to do much worse from this point forward. I like this car better than the Lambo. Lambo's just, it's too fast. I don't really have a need for speed. I kind of have a nafety for safety. Position doesn't matter. You get tournament points for fastest total time. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I guess position effectively matters in that whoever's in first will necessarily have the best time, but the distinction might matter overall for all the segments, right? I see. Oh, can I use downshifting to quickly lose speed? I know I'll fucking destroy my transmission, but this is a video game. Braking is more effectively, okay. More effective. That's actually kind of a preferred way to slow down on a motorcycle. To downshift, like if you see a red light that's pretty far ahead of you, just downshift all the way there. Alright. Razor's ahead of me, but Psycho's behind me. So there's no cops in tournament mode. We got to see that cool pull-over splash screen in the head-to-head. And this will complete the tournament. It'll do all the tracks, whether I do well in them or not, basically. Gotcha. That's cool. I think all tracks is a good target for a lot of these racing games. This seems more my speed though, compared to like Gran Turismo. I'd like to try to practice more of the Gran Turismo games and like actually maybe make 2 turns instead of just 1 turn. But we'd have to find a way to make it make sense. I think GT3 I was struggling with like how I was spending money to make the game feel playable. I don't know if one of the later games is better for that. Yeah. But I'm bad at this, but I feel like if I practice, I could get good at it. Whereas Gran Turismo, I'm like, I'm bad at this, and I'm not sure I could ever get good at this, regardless of the amount of practice. I'm just trying to think of like other racing games around this time. Like, this game came out not that long after Super Mario Kart, right? It's the difference between hobby versus simulationist. I do get the sense that games like this feel amazing when you get good enough to, like, consistently make every turn without slowing down. I'm probably going to bounce around like this in each of them, but I'm trying to, like, take my little victories as I get them. If I manage to make one turn, I'll feel good about myself. Same year as Mario Kart 64, wow. Pretty impressive. Even just, like, the shape of the track is impressive, right? Like... Razor, stuck in the middle with Razor and Psycho.
Congratulations! You've got a top 10 time for this track.
Suck it, Mr. Mass and myself. Okay, so... Ah, I see. So we do a tournament in each of the areas, basically? Okay. And the areas have different cars. Do the Porsche? Ah, okay. For handling... Do you know what the next class is before I get to it? Before I just pick the car and, oh, I recognize that name. I see. Can I switch cars in the middle of it? Ferrari's the handling car, okay. To last place here. Not great. I am in last place. Got away, other Porsche. I see. It's like California 1. Funny they spent all this money on car licensing, and I guess maybe these days you could really tell, right? I guess they look quite nice once you get a good look at them at the end of the track. So they're all basically just like rectangles, right? But it looks better than a rectangle. They got the silhouette right, I think. Based on the picture they showed, I don't know what Porsches look like. Do you feel the need for speed? I've got the need for safety. Give me one of those, someone make a racing game about, like, racing family-size minivans. Ford Windstar. I guess you wouldn't race them, would you? You would just try to, like, safely transport your kids to soccer practice. Actually, are there any, like, real-world traffic navigation games? It seems like incredibly boring, but video games are intended to help you practice real-life skills without the, like, danger of actually doing it in real life. I might actually be interested in playing a drive or go grocery shopping game. You have to stop at lights and obey traffic laws. It's pretty good for 96. Oh yeah, the Euro Truck games. That seems right. So you have to drive a giant truck, but yeah, I played some of the older GTA games. I would always do that, stop at stoplights. Don't do that cool stopping thing when you get the checkpoint. You're gonna wreck your nice car. Yeah, right. I guess there's some GTA RP servers that might, like, enforce shit like that, right? I haven't followed GTA RP at all, but it seems like the kind of thing where you could have a server where, like, people actually play as cops and pull you over for stuff like that. I saw a post on the Twitch subreddit recently saying that I guess GTA RP is, like, the most popular thing on Twitch right now. I just always assume that it's Fortnite, so I was surprised. Yeah, this looks really good. Remember, just keep Mario 64 and all of its tracks in your mind when you see this game. I'm actually making an effort. I know I'm still bad, but know that I'm actually trying, and I'm not just, like, slamming into the sides of the course. That's what my intuition tells me to do in racing games. It's like an experiment with pressing the brake button, but my years of Mario Kart training tell me that that button should basically have a thumbtack on it. You are also a Porsche, aren't you? Maybe not. I think the purple one is. No light blue! I guess it doesn't matter since it's time-based, but... It's a Corvette? Okay. You get some air on this track. I tried. I pressed brake once. I'm very proud of myself. Maybe if I, like, watch the car in front of me, it can give me a hint. Oh, wow, it's Planet of the Apes. Okay. And the apes blew up their society as well. How could this happen?
Congratulations. You've got a top 10 time for this track.
Mr. Mass losing again. Coastal. You said Ferrari's the handling car. Should I generally be taking the speed cars, or does it matter particularly? Is that reflective of real life? Are Lamborghinis faster and Ferraris have better handling, or just kind of an abstraction for the video game? Take the handling one. I already can't control the thing once the speed gets too high anyway. Oh wow, like they actually made the individual cars louder too. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's kind of nice. This one feels a lot more like sensitive to pressing left and right. And Lamborghinis like Harleys break down constantly. To benefit from handling it to take turns well. I guess my thought was if I'm not doing high speed, then when I am doing high speed, I'm definitely not going to do a turn well because I'm going to just crash into it, right? But I guess in addition to speed, that's also acceleration on the faster cars. Maximizing whenever you're on a straight, yeah, makes sense. Jesus. That would be extremely bad for one of these cars, right? Like, these cars are so low to the ground that if they got any air, it would probably fucking destroy them. I guess I haven't really paid attention during the Fast and the Furious movies to see if they're doing, like, crazy jumps and shit. I heard they go to space in the newest one. Now they just need to travel through time. Not last. Also your spine, probably. See what you mean about the top speed thing. I haven't taken a single corner well. Oh, that one was okay. Alright, if I just completely let off the gas early, then maybe I can do it better. Let's try that. I'm just listening to the engine. I guess I'm occasionally glancing and shifting if it goes into the red. Like right there, like that first little nub on the indicator in the bottom left, I'll shift up if I see it in there. Shift off. It's bouncing off the limiter and shift down if it drops below near the top. The limiter is the first nub. When I drive a manual in real life Phantom motorcycles, usually engine sound is good enough for that, but I've never driven a Ferrari before, so, or raced ever. So it says it drops below near the top. You mean if it is further to the left from the 12 o'clock position? And that's when the downshift? And like 1 o'clock is fine because that's what you get right after you shift up?
Congratulations, you've just beat the top speed for this segment.
Really? Not last, still. Set your expectations low and you won't be disappointed. Well, you can still be disappointed, but decrease the chance that you'll be disappointed. Cool snowy level. Oh god. I'm stuck on the shoulder. There we go. That was bad. This is a really hard track. Very twisty. God. If you touch the side, you're in trouble here. I think they're trying to simulate the snow. This is like the final boss level for me. I know there's still levels to come. Whoops, wrong button. Hey, a straightaway. What the hell is this? Oh God, Jesus Christ. I didn't think I was gonna get air there. Still not last somehow. The slow cars and the simple tracks and the fast cars and the technical tracks.
You just beat the top speed for this segment.
It's not great for the difficulty curve, sure. Yeah, that one was hard. Not last.
You got a top 10 time for this track.
Silver Spider. They're just being really nice about the other racers. That's all that's happening here. It's Rusty Springs, Autumn Valley, Burnt Sienna, Vertigo Ridge, Transtropolis. Alright, so we said the Supra is what we're going for whenever it's Class C. Hey, it's New Mexico. Yay, slower car! Usually they didn't do color variations for the other racers with the same model of car. I see what you're saying, yeah. This track is great. Big fan. I haven't looked on the spreadsheet recently. If you click on the games link below the channel there, you can count all the ones that have a check mark next to them. No problem. Best one I've played is a lot of them are apples and oranges. Like I don't think it means anything to say that like Hades is better than Papers, Please, because they're completely different kinds of games. But at How Long to Beat Profile, I put star ratings for all of them. So anything that has 5 out of 5 stars, I've rated as basically perfect for me. I think it's like 100%. My enjoyment specifically... probably the Soulsborne games and La Mulana. But I don't think I would say that they're, like, critically better. Kind of games that I'm just, like, salivating to play. Think about them when I'm not playing them. Roguelikes tend to hold my attention for a long time, so it's a good roguelike, like Slay the Spire. I enjoy it a lot too. Nice. Have you played Griftlands yet? Very similar to Slay the Spire. Oh, you should check it out. It's super good. Came out early access a couple months ago. Yeah, Griftlands. There's one corner. Like one thing that I need to slow down for, you mean? Sometimes it doesn't want to shift. I don't know if it's that it can't shift while I'm also telling it to turn. Griftlands is a A+ dev team. I think they're the folks that made Invisible Ink. They do a lot of different things every time. Mark of the Ninja and Don't Starve. Yeah, so they're like Supergiant in that respect, that they keep trying to make a new genre instead of just sticking to the same thing over and over.
Final lap.
Final lap. Yeah, Slay the Spire is great. Roguelikes have such a really good, just automatic synergy with deck builders. You should try Griftlands if you like Slay the Spire. I'm impressed with it. As of my most recent updates, my How Long to Beat profile, the question is how many games have I beaten?
You've got a top 10 time for this track.
438 completed games out of like 700 played-ish. Pretty good. If it's on the voting spreadsheet, we beat it. If it's on someone's sub-block, we play it for like a couple hours here or there, so sub-block is the reason it's not closer to 100%. Oh, Rusty Springs was the entire tournament. Interesting. I see. I was like, that feels like a really long track. You said the Viper is what we want to go with? Oh shit. Takes a second to like get the camera fixed each time. I don't think I can handle first person in this. I have to let off the turn button when I'm shifting, I think. DOS input limit or something. I wish Prince of Persia ran as swiftly as this did. Also a DOS-box game. Oh, really? I was expecting that, like, having to manually shift was, like, part of the experience. I briefly booted up and tested the non-special edition, and it actually had, like, a little shifting animation on the screen. I don't know if it even had an automatic option. That one where there was the effort corner? Okay. Does Dodge makes this car? I feel like I know the phrase Dodge Viper from commercials or something. Effort corner. Not enough effort. Try next time. Switch the gas too early. Okay. I'll try something different next time. Right, I let off my steering wheel there in order to shift. Yeah, I like these ones better than the segmented ones. Not quite. Couple passes at him. I enjoyed Factorio a lot. It had a pretty steep learning curve at the start. I assume Dwarf Fortress is going to be like that as well. Excuse y'all. Came out of too far. Okay. Really? So is it like carrying over your scores from all of them when you're doing tournament? Just lets you go back to the title screen to switch cars? And you have to win the tournament to get the extra stage. That's kind of cool. You see me do a baffling downshift, it's probably because I just hit Z instead of A by mistake. That's happened to me like 10 times. I think I still touched the side there, which wasn't great.
Final lap.
Final lap. That car got some air in front of me. Makes sense. Pretty good lap for me so far. Let's see if we can maintain it. So these crazy turns, we want to start as close to the inside as possible so that we have room to slide outward. Oh, that wasn't terrible. There you go. Clean Eugene. If you wanted to see which ones are done, what my ratings were for them.
You've got a top 10 time for this track.
Start outside, hit the inside apex, then run outside on exits. Okay. Start out, go towards in. Like an S shape. Autumn Valley. Burnt Sienna, like the crayon color. This is southeast New Mexico. So, would you say that most, I mean, I'm sure this is subjective, but like, hardcore simulationist racing fans, are they really into first-person mode? Or not necessarily? I imagine with the advent of VR, probably yes, but only in VR, I would guess. My friend Sailor Dan has a F1 VR racing rig that I've tried out once, which was pretty impressive. Also the kind of thing where it's like, I just need to be able to make one turn. It's pretty cool. It seems like a neat project. Like, I think it's fun to have some like big modular thing that you can try to work on. My MIDI drum kit was like that for a while. A lot of people's personal built computers are like that. You gotta have the space in your apartment for a giant fucking racing rig, though. So that's not so accessible. Like, this game is straight far enough away from simulationist that like my brain can kind of learn a little bit of how much I should be letting off the gas on the turns, right? have to, like, think about it too hard, even though I'm not nailing it. Like, I feel like I'm doing better than at the very start of the stream, just based on the game's feedback so far. I'm definitely not making the lines, but I'm not bumping off the sides as badly. Practice is going to contribute. I've never played them before, so it's cool to demo some of these awesome games in a genre that I have zero experience with. It just seems like such a cool, deep fandom that's also happens to be, like, very compatible with video game adaptation, you know? Or even that, like, the video game adaptation component allows you to live out part of the fantasy that's beyond reach for 99% of people, because the cars we're talking about are too expensive. Like, there aren't any, like, elite bird watching games. I guess Pokemon Snap. Seems like sports games, like simulationist sports games, lend themselves pretty well to video game adaptation for the most part. It's another one that I have very little experience with, like the actual genre staples, just the arcadey ones like Punch-Out and NFL Blitz and NBA Jam. Boomer Need for Speed takes. What are your Need for Speed takes? Do I need to see all the games to hear the takes? I like this map a lot. Even though I just fucked up really bad. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm starting to hit that a little bit where, like, I'm seeing content creators online that are, like, nostalgic for the N64 or even like the PS2. I have this like involuntary urge to be like, that's not nostalgic. There were video games before that. And it's like, no, stop. You need to stop. I have this weird, like, I don't know, medium nostalgia privilege because I grew up. The first thing I ever played was a Magnavox, one of those Pong systems. We had an uncle who had one, and then Atari 2600. So for each new, like, kind of medium, there's only like one generation that gets to experience it exactly from the beginning, right? But I guess I didn't play Chainmail, so I don't count. Imagine what it was like to have, like, grown up with silent films and seen people who are nostalgic for, like, Scorsese or something. I don't know. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. I pressed the wrong button a bunch of times. Hopefully I can recover from this. Nice. So last lap coming up, I think. I have time to correct my awful mistake.
Final lap.
I assume there's some lap time rubber banding in this. I'm excited to see, because like Need for Speed 2, I had to set up the live split timer, so I saw the release here. Need for Speed 2 Special Edition is 97, and Need for Speed 3 is 98, because this is back when we used to release games at that kind of a clip. This is an era where like 1 year made a huge fucking difference, so excited to see the difference there. Oh, shit. You guys suck, you know that? Oh god. At least I was already in first. Oh, so there's like a special you're spinning out camera. Okay. You tried. They still have that P10 student sound effects?
Student driver!
Yeah, I thought so.
You've got a top 10 time for this track.
You're nice to say so. Vertigo Ridge. The last two tracks are brutal. Are these the last two here? Gotcha. Last one is outright dickish. Ooh, the waterfall. Multiple waterfalls. Oh, they're showing off. Speed limit 50. Cool forest area. I like how I think all of these racing games we've done that have like a forested area like this try to like simulate the shadows of the trees. I assume that's just like hard coded onto the track. They just made some of the track more shaded than the others. Same with the tunnels. Still not last at the moment, anyway. I mean, like, just like the tracks themselves and the layout of them is impressive, even outside of for its time. Yeah, hasn't noticed it before, but there's some kind of like horizon warp effect going on when I'm like going up and down hills that I think is helping to like make the hills feel natural. I've never seen it before. If you just watch like the flat background as I go up and down hills, like it like looks like it's in like a fisheye lens or something sometimes. I wish I had like racing game vision to be able to tell a really beautiful track in a game, you know? All I can tell is that, oh, this one's got a lot of turns in it, right? But I imagine it's not just, oh, there's lots of turns in it, right? Like, not everything can be that crazy crooked road in San Francisco. And that's not a good racing track, right? Just because it's super crooked. Right. I wish I could get, like, have Enthusiast Vision downloaded to me for all kinds of fandoms, right? There's a lot of sports that it's difficult for me to really appreciate when something complicated is going on, other than, you know, I personally couldn't do that. I was watching, Andrew and I were watching surfing and skateboarding at the Olympics, and know well enough, like, to know I couldn't do that, but to really, like, gauge the difference of the complexity of the tricks between any two Olympic athletes was challenging, especially because the commentators are generally going to be really critical and brutal, like, oh man, she totally flubbed that one. It's like, she did? It kind of looked awesome to me, but okay. Like, I guess, like, martial arts and boxing are like that for me. I'd watch it and it's like, okay, these guys are hitting each other, but I don't, like, feel the weight of the punches because I've been so corrupted by Hollywood to expect comical meat-slapping sound effects whenever someone takes damage. Lombard Street would be the same precise jump over and over. Okay. Like a amateur Mario Maker level, a whole bunch of frame perfect jumps. And yet I've noticed a lot of racing games that feature San Francisco include that street. I mean, that's just a fantasy thing. Oh man, I wish there were no pedestrians and I could just race down that, right? Fun to drive or just fun to race? Sure, yeah. I understand fun to drive. I assume there's a lot of overlap between what's fun to ride on with the motorcycle versus what's fun to just drive on with a high-performance car. Because it's fun to take a bunch of, like, back-to-back turns on a bike. Because of the way you have to, like, lean to, like, counter-steer. But I think this name is saying that Lombard Street is more artistic than or less artistic than a Celeste Farewell level. It's bad to look at it and say, ah, this is what makes great course design, because it doesn't. It's just really complicated. They do, yeah. I was thinking amateur, overly precise
Final lap.
Mario Maker level. It's interesting to think about different fandoms and their barrier to entry to like appreciate other people doing it, right, and understand what they're going through. You can even see that within video games, like if you don't know how to play fighting games, you can still kind of enjoy a fighting game match, and that there's two big health bars on the screen. And you can tell which one is low, and you can see from the animations if someone's like parrying attacks, right? You might not know all of the specific techs or how complicated it is, but... Not last. I did get last on one map. No radar.
You've got a top 10 time for this track.
That's cool. So Forza tries to do like real racetracks. Like how the F1 games try to do real F1 racetracks. Transtropolis. This will be our last one for Need for Speed 1, and then we're going to check out Need for Speed 2. Speed harder. Need for even more speed. Do they have similar, like, copyright problems with tracks as they do with cars? IP problems, I guess. Interesting. I'm surprised that that's an issue, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Relax. Uh-oh. Hey, it resets you eventually. And it looks like the car you have to beat up in Street Fighter 2. This is a pretty crazy map. There's a lot going on. The airport. Yeah, these are just the real streets of the city. Yeah. That's not copyrighted. You just wouldn't have any signs up that say it's the... It's funny. Yeah, I'm guessing you can't, like, claim the shape of the road, right? So you can't copyright math. mechanics in a card game. The last turn after that jump is a Kaizo block. Okay, thank you. It's unfairly difficult even if you're good at this. And it's surprising. Oh, so even if you launch through it, it might cause you to lose first place, basically? Thank you for using that analogy. That helps me to appreciate it better. Same turn. Shit. I think it resets me to first gear when I crash like that. Like you instinctively downshifting. Brake on the way in the parking garage. Brake before the hill. I don't think I saw where it was. Let me watch for it. This hill? Oh, okay. Cool steel refinery. That's pretty cool set piece. It's like Pittsburgh. We'll get last place on this track, but that's okay. At least I didn't flip over that time. It's small victories. You actually make a parking garage that is almost guaranteed to cause you to crash like that. Like having the airport in this level too. Forza Horizon, the open world one, you just kind of drive around. Hey, I made a turn that I couldn't make before. That feels pretty good. Wasn't the smoothest thing, but I didn't flip the car over, so again, small victories. And the Forza games are kind of a pain in the ass because, like, their licensings for the different vehicles keeps dropping, so different entries are hard to buy because they get delisted. Are there still, like, archivists trying to make, like, at least pirated versions that are still accessible for these games that get delisted? Hope so. That could be worse. You can be both a pirate and an archivist. Piracy is necessary to archive something. See the City of Heroes fan servers. Yeah, but I imagine it gets increasingly difficult to pirate modern games. Especially for ones that are like console only. I see.
Final lap.
Final lap. We're not last. See if I can maintain that. I'm not sure I can. So what allows your RPMs to go below the first red notch? Is that like going downhill while also hitting the red notch? I'll spun out there. It's doing all right there at the beginning. How we do?
You've got a top 10 time for this track.
Not last. Number 6, I'll take it. Oh wait, number 4 final. I'll take it. 69 points. Nice. Better than Freak, apparently. Alright, well that was cool. Thank you for sharing the Need for Speed 1. I'm now going to boot up Need for Speed 2 and also do all tracks. And then we might not do 3 today, depending on how much time is left over. I can always credit your bank. Actually, would prefer to err on the side of wrapping early today than going late, but give me a sec to switch to the second one.